You see, they talk about Surah At-Taubah, and then and then look at them. You know, they're throwing stones at us, but their house is made of glass.
Number two, there's a difference between the Old Testament telling us how God worked through Israel and a commandment that is still binding on me today as a Christian and I have to carry out. So when they say, oh, look at the Old Testament, Surah At-Taubah. Well, there's a difference, my friend. Are they saying Surah At-Taubah is not for the Muslims today?
إذا أقام في أرضكم غريب فلا تظلموه وليكن لكم الغريب المقيم عندكم كالمواطن. If there's somebody who is residing in your land who is not of you, don't treat them bad, and let them reside within you as if they're one of you.
See, and this is talking about someone who's not Yahud. Treat him as if he is. Respect him and honor him, right?
Yeah, well, I don't see where it says, "Oh, give them jizya or kill them." So how can you recall it so accurately? Even the Quran, you just name it right off the top of your head.
Now, bro.
Okay, so since we're here, this would be actually my actual last question. Is they tend to take verses where God is saying like for example, Rabb al-Junud, which is like the God of the soldiers, and take this kind of thing and then just say, look, see the strong sense of like Zionism here and all of that, and then they end up just sort of take like the most extreme stuff that happens in Israel, and then they end up saying, oh, it's inspired from their text. You see, they talk about Surah At-Taubah, and then and then look at them. You know, they're throwing stones at us, but their house is made of glass. I don't know
they
how to
can say that to me. I'll say, number one, okay. First of all, let's just take it about what they say in the text of the Old Testament. Side note, just then I'll answer about, you're talking about the wars and all that. All right. What do you say about a book that makes the Jews look so bad and evil for constantly breaking God's heart, upsetting God, and constantly running to other gods and goddesses and constantly causing God to punish them? Do you think if the Jews were going to corrupt the Bible, they're going to make themselves look so evil?
No, they would take that stuff out, I think.
And it's still intact, right?
Yeah.
And then, okay, secondly, now with the wars. If you actually read the Bible fairly in context, God says to the Jews, you see what I'm doing to these nations at your hands is because they have committed idolatry. They're mushrikun. They're also homosexuals. That's in Leviticus, by the way. When you have a chance, read on your own Leviticus chapter 18, Leviticus chapter 20. They're two long chapters, okay?
Okay, 18 and 20, okay.
Okay, there you're going to see, he tells them, say, look, the land that I'm taking you into, the reason why I'm driving out the Canaanites, Canaan, is because they commit homosexuality, they sleep with animals, you have a mother sleeping with her son, a father sleeping with his daughter, and offering their children as a sacrifice to Molech. Because of these sins, I'm going to throw them out of the land. But then he warns them, you do that, I'll do the same to you. And so what you find in the Bible is a very fair God who says, not only will I do it to them, I'll do it to you. And he did it to them. How many times did he brought nations to punish Israel, to slay the Israelites, to imprison the Israelites and take them into captivity?
I would say a few times. I don't know.
Just the book of Judges, read it. The Judges, every other chapter is the Israelites sinned and God brought the Moabites and beat them. And they cried out to God, God saved them, the Ammonites. And then what do you do when God took them into Babylon captivity and destroyed Jerusalem? What's the point? The point is he's not simply fighting for the Yahud and telling the Yahud, yeah, you can do what you want. You can commit murder. Don't worry about it. You're my people. Everyone else go to hell. No, 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 no. Because you're my people, I'm going to punish you worse if you do what they do, like I'm punishing them. Because I'm God and I'm holy. You do what they do, I'll do to you what I did to them. So that's number one. But number two, number two, there's a difference between the Old Testament telling us how God worked through Israel and a commandment that is still binding on me today as a Christian and I have to carry out. So when they say, oh, look at the Old Testament, Surah At-Taubah. Well, there's a difference, my friend. Are they saying Surah At-Taubah is not for the Muslims today?
No, they still agree it is for the Muslims, but then they say they say that they say that you as people who criticize Islam, they say that you point out that Surah At-Taubah has this kind of violence in it, but then you tend to gloss over the fact, like the whole Zionism issue. Now, I'm not saying that you do.
I don't agree with Zionism. The Zionists today, I don't agree with them. Number one, they're an abomination to God. Anyone that goes against Jesus and his word is not pleasing to God. So maybe they're misinformed. I know there may be some Christians who think that the Zionists are somehow blessed by God. No, they're not. Any Christian who knows his Bible will tell you. Anyone, Jew first, who rejects Jesus and hates Jesus and opposes Jesus, he's an enemy of God. That's in the New Testament. That's in the Injil. So there, you can't be a true Christian and say, God is happy with Zionism if Zionism hates Jesus and rejects his message. So if you have a Christian like that, smack him from me. That's number one. Okay. Now, number two, I want to make a distinction. Our problem is not with what Muhammad did in the past, even though it's problematic. Our problem is that what Muhammad did in the past, Muslims are commanded to continue to do until Jesus returns. That means,
it's an act.
You get it? Yeah. Command. That means yes, I'm always looking over my shoulder just in case some Muslims get the desire to come and attack my place, behead me, slit my throat, take my wife if I'm married, rape her, take my young girls, because my daughter is 10. According to Islam, she's halal. They can rape her too. That's my fear, because it's not something you're just keeping in the past. The past is every day, the present, for Boko Haram and ICE. And you can say they're not Muslim, but when you hear their speech, you know Arabic, they're quoting to you ayat and they're quoting to you hadith. They're not making it up.
No, you're right. You're right. And they I think that they are really close resemblance. Like they have a close resemblance of everything. That is, you're right.
So my question to you, how many Jews and Christians are quoting Deuteronomy 20 to say, see, Deuteronomy 20, let's go slaughter everything in Texas or in Tennessee?
No, none. But these people on YouTube, they take these and they say, look, see what they're commanded to do. See how horrible that is.
See, then they're saying, and we're saying, no, my friend, you don't get it. In the Old Testament, God is appearing in a cloud. They're hearing God's voice. They're seeing miracles like the Red Sea split before their eyes, manna from heaven. So there's supernatural, miraculous proof that God exists, and you better listen. If not, then you're going to get punished. And that's just history. But it's not something he's saying you continue to do this till this day. And unless you're going to tell me Surah At-Taubah has nothing to do with Muslims today, it's okay. Muhammad did in the past, we keep it in the past. But then go on and convince Boko Haram and ICE and Al-Qaeda that, hey, stupid, Surah At-Taubah is not for you. It was for the Prophet and his companions, the Sahaba. Why are you applying it? So when they can start condemning them and saying, that has nothing to do with you Muslims today, then we'll talk, because I have yet to find any Jew or any Christian quoting Deuteronomy 20 saying, hey, Deuteronomy 20 says, let's go make war and destroy the people in Tennessee and Texas and Mexico. Do you know any of them? Quote that for me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Okay? That's the difference. So don't simply quote Old Testament and compare it to the Quran, or saying we're living in a glass house. Our problem with you is it's not just Surah At-Taubah. You're saying Surah At-Taubah is for all Muslims, and jihad is for all Muslims until Jesus comes, until the Mahdi comes, and then the Al-Masih Ad-Dajjal, and then Jesus comes. That means we can never be safe if we're living in Muslim majority lands. Do you think if I'm in Egypt and I say Muhammad is the son of Satan, I'm going to live?
No.
Okay,
no,
thank you.
Even way less than that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
I agree. Well, see, I've been watching you and David Wood and watching a few other people, and then I went through some phases. I as an ignorant person who just came out of school, I was like, okay, I don't see anything wrong in Bukhari, I don't see anything wrong in Muslim, and then a little bit later, I say, okay, I see a few problematic things. Let's let's do the Quran, like the Quranist approach. And then I go there and I'm like, okay, but who is Muhammad? Who is anybody? I can't really explain who they are. Why do I pray this specific way? Why do I do wudu? So then I'm here at this step where I'm trying to discover and get to know the book that we're never allowed to possess or really read except to just scrutinize. And I've had the questions that I asked you, and you've answered them very, very clearly. And also, now that I thought of it, I mean, isn't there a verse that says there is no Jew or Gentile,
exactly,
or
Galatians
male or
3:28.
female? So I guess it just really destroys what they say about the Jewish supremacy.
Okay, and I'll destroy Jewish supremacy from the Old Testament. Okay, are you ready?
Okay.
You just mentioned Galatians 3:28. We just read it earlier. There's neither Jew nor Greek, neither free nor slave, neither male nor female, but you are all one in Christ Jesus. Galatians 3:28. But can I show you from the Torah of the Yahud?
Yes, please.
Away. Go to, if you can go to Leviticus 19, yes. 33 to 34. Leviticus 19, 33 to 34. You read it in Arabic and tell me what it says. Leviticus 19, 33, 34.
إذا أقام في أرضكم غريب فلا تظلموه وليكن لكم الغريب المقيم عندكم كالمواطن. If there's somebody who is residing in your land who is not of you, don't treat them bad, and let them reside within you as if they're one of you.
See, and this is talking about someone who's not Yahud. Treat him as if he is. Respect him and honor him, right?
Yeah, well, I don't see where it says, "Oh, give them jizya or kill them," or any of that.
But I got more for you. Go to Deuteronomy, okay. Chapter 10, verses 18 to 19. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verses 18 to 19. Watch here. I'm going to give you a couple, not just one or two.
Yes, I see it.
And what does it say in Deuteronomy 10, 18 to 19?
It says, well, I'm translating from Arabic, but it says
you
that
can read Arabic. I know what it says. That's for yourself.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it says he takes care of the orphan and the widow, and he loves the stranger as of like not of you.
Wow. So he loves
gives them food.
He loves the non-Jew just like he loves the Jew, and he cares for them and feeds them.
And it says, love them because just like you were also estranged in Egypt.
Wow. So the same Torah says, look, you Jews, when a stranger who's not a Jew comes, love them, care for them because I care for them and love them like I love you. Don't treat them worse than you or that you're better than them. Don't you dare do that, right?
Yes.
Okay, but wait, I got two more for you. Let's go to Ezekiel. Okay. Ezekiel is the prophet Ezekiel.
Yes.
And this is talking about at the end of the age when Messiah comes and he restores peace to the whole earth. In Jerusalem, who's going to be living there? If you go to Ezekiel 47, 22 to 23. Okay. Ezekiel 47, 22 to 23.
It says that you will split the land so that it will be like inheritance to you, like you're living within the strangers and people who are living within you. And I should just be reading the English.
Yeah, just read it for yourself. No, I got the English, but you see, God is saying there, even the non-Jew will have an inheritance in Jerusalem with you. You're going to share the land with them. They have a share in my land, the non-Jew as well as the Jew.
I see it. Yes.
Oh wow,
that is very different from what they present.
But I'm going to give you just a few more. Let's go to Isaiah 19. Okay. I want you to go to Isaiah 19, and I want you to read 23 to 25. Who is actually the people of God, and who does God use, and who is the inheritor of God? In Isaiah 19, 23 to 25, there you're going to see three people: Egypt, Ashur, my ancestors, I'm Assyrian, and Israel. He says, Egypt are my people. Assyrians, the sons of Ashur, my people, I'm Assyrian.
Yes, Ashur.
The work of his hand, and Israel, my inheritance. Where do you get it's only the Jews? When here it's Egyptians, Assyrians, and the Israelites, Bani Israel.
Yes.
You see it?
I do. Wow.
Okay, so where do you get, this is only Jewish propaganda. Now, since you're in the book of Isaiah, I want you to read for me Isaiah 42, verses 6 and 7. Isaiah 42, verses
42?
6. Yeah, chapter 42, verses 6 and 7. Does God want only the Jews, or he wants all the nations to be saved? 42, 6 to 7. You see there it says, to the servant, the Abdi, my servant, he will give him to be what? A light to the Gentiles.
Yes, Nuran lil-Umam. Yes, you're right.
So not only the Jews, right?
Yes.
And then Isaiah 49, 5 to 7. Isaiah 49, 5 to 7. It's 5 and 6, but we'll read 7 as well. Watch here.
So how can you recall it so accurately? Even the Quran, you just name it right off the top of your head.
Now, brother, you're saying how I recall it? Because Jesus lives. He's real. He's alive. He's the Son of God. And by the power of the Holy Spirit, he does miracles through his people. So you're seeing the miracle of the Holy Spirit for the glory of Jesus. It's not me, it's my Jesus who loves you and is bringing you to the truth. That's how.
Well, I'm definitely being swayed. So.
Okay, but are you seeing it there in Isaiah? It says, to the servant, Abdi, my servant, he goes, it's not just enough that you're going to bring the Yaqub, the sons of Yaqub and Bani Israel. What are you going to do? What does he say in verse 6? You will also be, in Isaiah 49, 5 and 6, but we're going to read 7 as well. And if you read
same
6,
thing, Nuran lil-Umam, light to the Gentiles.
Oh, and to bring my salvation, how far?
To Aqsa al-Ard, which is like the whole of earth.
So you mean the very Isaiah, the prophet, he's saying that Egypt is God's people, Assyria the work of his hands, Israel is inheritance, and God is going to send his servant, who is his son, Yeshua, to bring salvation to the ends of the earth and be a light for all the nations, not just the Jews.
I see it, yeah.
So I don't know how much more fair can the Bible be. I don't know.
Oh, I've had enough from the first one.
Okay, see? So the Bible, if you let the Bible speak and not twist it, even when I read Quran and Hadith, I try to interpret accurately, which is why they don't refute me, because I'm not misrepresenting. But every time they attack my Bible, it's always misrepresentation. And you can see I'm always correcting them. No, it doesn't say that.
Yeah.
Why aren't they able to then show where we're wrong and correct us?
I see your point.